we're live. It caught more of that than I thought it would. God, this is like creepy. It's always like weird because it always gets like, okay, let's be quiet. Let's stop everything now because we might be going live. And then it catches like right before. It's always really weird. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, and I'm joined once again by Jedi Jason Kruger.
Yo.
Very interesting week to talk about. We had
Some of us get to go to shows live.
some of us. That's the benefit. The benefit to us not having the fulfillment of wife and children. Yes, and that's the only benefit. Time for some serious self-reflection here, but we're not going to do that on the show because that's not what we're about here. What we are about is sharing our love of pro wrestling with each and every one of you fans. Jedi and I have been watching wrestling together for well over 15 years. We love wrestling. We love sharing our love of professional wrestling with each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we are fans. Mm-hmm. We're not insiders. We're not wrestlers. Our opinions are about just like each and every one of yours because at the end of the day, we are just two marks. And yeah. So this week, I don't know how to describe it. We had, and I'm a little biased because I was there live. I was there for the Dynamite live broadcast. Mm-hmm. Very, very good show. This is the only time I've gone to a television episode of wrestling and felt like it was worth my money at the time.
Well, that's good. And not surprising, but yeah.
Well, I mean, we went to Raw SmackDown taping in the past, and it was a go-home show, but I'm still like, whatever. I'm the kind of guy that would rather go to a pay-per-view or a house show or an indie show compared to television.
Right.
But Dynamite has made me want to go see television. So, good on AEW Dynamite, but we'll get to that later. Raw was not eventful. And SmackDown, we haven't been able to watch because it's not on Sling.
Yeah, the main takeaway I got from the first few minutes is it looks like they're going with Miz versus Fiend instead of which I just basically reconfirmed down here.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
So
apparently Daniel Bryan's currently missing in action since he was attacked by the
lovely.
Yeah, definitely nothing happened on Raw. I mean, they're continuing this Rusev Lana thing. They're doing this Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens thing, kind of slow build.
Which I'm not. I mean, they could fuck that up, Roy.
You know, I mean, at least
it's the
WWE. Rollins is the bad guy, so I mean.
Yeah, and it still seems like they're kind of going slightly knock on wood, so I don't start another superstar shakeup, but. It seems like they're kind of going in the he really thinks he's not. Like he honestly thinks he's doing the right thing.
Right.
Which is fine because that's kind of how he has been acting.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yep.
But
take real life, turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Maybe it's just me really wishing that a guy who was very nice to both of us and put on so many good matches and treated both of us with the utmost respect and,
Right.
What's the other word? Other like nicefulness is me making up a word, but he was still very nice.
Yeah. He was very polite.
Even going so far as to remember our friend JC. Out in the parking lot of a Ring of Honor show because JC did art for him.
Yep. Everybody in this local area appreciates
almost, yeah. but Seth Rollins, Tyler Black actually went from like, I remember you. You're the one that did the drawing for me. My mom has that.
Awesome.
Right. Hoping that his douchiness was all a ploy to make this easy.
Right.
But on the flip side of things, as nice and cool and polite and awesome as he was, I don't think he's that smart. But either way, it's working.
Yeah.
I feel like in the WWE, even though I was clamoring for him to be the face of the company, and in my defense, I wasn't the only one, and also in my defense, he seemed like the right choice at the time. He's not handled it well, and
who
he's
else was there at the time?
Roman, who was also getting booed,
Yeah, that obviously that wasn't.
and Lesnar, who's not there. So
Yeah. Speaking, still not there.
But damn it, he's the best fucking wrestler
That's
ever. And if
right.
you disagree, you're a dumb mark that doesn't deserve to have an opinion on shit.
Now instead of Rollins.
SCU, Eric Wade in the building.
Now instead of Rollins trying to carry the company with the Intercontinental title on that show, it's Ray trying to carry it with the U.S. title.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But
I'm gonna jump into NXT highlights.
yeah, let's just go to NXT.
Mia Yim is back and fighting with Dakota Kai now because Dakota Kai is the one that hurt Mia Yim. It was revealed retroactively. Yeah, so
Makes sense.
Yep. And meanwhile, Baszler's finally like, yeah, sure, fine. Rhea Ripley can have a title shot. I think I want to say on the 18th of this.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of things.
That's gonna be a big weekend in the war.
Yeah.
Big week in the war.
So those are the main takeaways. Other than that, most of it was very developmental, too.
Right.
Kushida returned.
I'm gonna say something that some might consider.
Keith
Lee is awesome. But I'm going to say something about Kushida that may be considered a hot take. It may be considered me being a hater. I don't really know how to put it.
Are you going to tell us he came back from the future?
No. I'm going to say I haven't been impressed with a whole hell of a lot of him. That's not a knock on Kushida. He's wrestling a completely different style, a completely different company.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's kind of in the Nakamura situation where he's very well aware that he's done all his best work. He's here to make his money.
Yeah.
He's here to sock away his retirement. He's here to, if he likes living in the United States, he's here to settle in, start building towards a job after wrestling at the Performance Center or in the office, and do that. Has he been on the roster long enough to completely write off? No. But I haven't really been. I mean, he's had great, some good, some maybe going into the great territory matches since he's been on NXT. But I feel like Kushida, he hasn't even really been setting the world on fire on NXT. When Nakamura went to the main roster, that's when his work kind of, to a certain extent, fell off.
Right.
Kushida hasn't really, been even on Nakamura's NXT level.
Right.
Is it all his fault? No. I mean, Nakamura kind of came out the gate guns blazing. Sami Zayn, title run, Samoa Joe.
Right.
All of these different things are going on with Nakamura, so, may not be an apples to apples comparison. But if I were somebody who has never watched New Japan Pro Wrestling before, and I were to sit down with other people that had watched New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they're telling me about how cool Kushida was, I would think that they are on some damn good drugs.
It's pretty fair.
Because, yeah. I don't know. You might have a different perspective on things. New Wall. Well, the New Wall made its debut last week. Yeah, unfortunately, the StarCast Kenny autograph, it got moved to right here. It's still visible, but it's not directly behind me. That poster has has Barry, Tully, JJ, Arn, and Ric Flair signatures on it. You can't not display that.
That's true.
And yeah, got a new McFoley autograph to put some fire and pizzazz on the door. So then I put the unboxing Adam Cole autograph there. So yeah, it's a week-old wall, but you know, if you haven't seen the show before, it's brand spanking new. Or if you haven't seen the show in a couple weeks, it's brand spanking new. So.
See, you miss out when you don't tune in.
Gotta come every week. You might get surprised by new walls. And not the guy who was up on top of the building doing this for Hulk Hogan to say, "It's the wall, brother!" Not those guys. Oh no. I remember watching that as a kid, and I remember it's even more funny watching I'm not going to say peer because he's like so far ahead of us, it's like he's lapped us 3,000 times. Brian Alvarez his perspective on that.
Right.
Maybe that's something we should do one of these days. We should start doing watch-alongs of old wrestling. Some good, some bad. That might be, if there's interest in that, let us know in the comment section below.
Or we could do such modern gyms as the Butcher and the Blade.
We're going to get to that.
All right.
We are going to get to that.
So let's see. Next week there's a triple threat match between Balor, Ciampa, and Keith Lee for #1 contender for the 18th against Cole. That was
Keith Lee, the iron's hot. You'd be silly not to capitalize with Keith Lee. It'd be silly not to go with Ciampa because Ciampa just beat Adam Cole in War Games. It'd be silly not to go with your main roster guy that you're putting on the show. So it's going to be the 18th is going to be hard for AEW to win.
I mean, yeah.
They might
just
well, when we get
triple threat to fall apart.
When we get to AEW, I'll go into further detail with what they're counter programming that with.
Okay.
But with a match like that,
right?
Like I will watch AEW first because there's no other way of watching it. I have to watch it live. But I'm very tempted to watch like NXT already has the hot hand over AEW, and I'm somebody who's an AEW first kind of guy.
Right.
So
there you go. Yep. But
well, we'll go to AEW. I know you get to watch everything. We're gonna watch some clips of it after the show. We got a little sidetracked with some personal business, and we couldn't really watch it beforehand. But I'll just give the perspective from somebody who was there because I was in it. I made it to the show. Me and former co-host Nick, we went up to Champaign to see the show. It was a really, really good show. Really glad I went. The tickets were very affordable. The concessions were not. Okay, they were better than some other places, but still, they were $9 beers.
Yeah.
And I drank quite a few of them. They only had one merch table, which kind of sucked.
Really?
Especially because the one shirt, of all the cool shirts they put on Pro Wrestling Tees, well, I guess when they travel, they only pick, like, the generic ones. There was only one that I really wanted, and by the time the merch line was so long when we first walked into the building, I'm like, I'll catch it later.
Right.
And after it died down a little bit, I got in line. It was this, it looked like the prize fighter shirt was like, Chris Jericho. It's in 1990 on the bottom said Le Champion. And I went there to buy it, and I go, hi, extra large in that number, please. Small, medium only. Got it. Anything else I can get you? Absolutely not. Because everything else there was just I get, maybe you don't want to have your obscure inside joke shirts.
Yeah.
But still, when you're that close to Chicago, come on, bring a couple.
Yeah.
Bring one Merch Freak shirt. Bring one BTE story shirt. Bring one, Legend of Zelda Kenny shirt. Bring one, make him say, Cody Rhodes shirt. But, so I didn't buy any merch.
A Legend of Zelda Kenny shirt.
Always. But other than that, it was a great show. I thought the Chris Jericho segment was fucking hilarious, and going back to, going into a little bit of detail on this, Chris Jericho does an awesome interview where he has what he calls a list. And when everybody gets all cheery, he's like, this isn't 2016, this isn't a list. This is the lexicon of Le Champion! And he lists, and no pun intended, because that's not what it is. And I have a screen capture because someone took the time and the effort to write down from the lexicon of Le Champion all of the names. That he is not going to wrestle again in
2020?
2019, because he's obligated for one more match on the 18th.
Makes sense.
And here is his list on the lexicon of Le Champion of the people he will not wrestle again in 2019. Jon Moxley, Cody Rhodes, because he can't. And they also made sure to put that in there. The Young Bucks, Papa Buck, Uncle Buck, Buck Owens, Moxley, Hangman Page, Diamond Dallas Page, Moxley, Scorpio Sky, Too Cold Scorpio, any member of the Scorpions, Moxley, Michael Nakazawa, Kenny Omega, Kenny Ortega, Kenny Shields, Kenny Chesney, which popped me and Nick because we were making jokes because they had outside the State Farm Center pictures of all the upcoming events, and we were acting like they were matches. And we're like, Kenny Chesney versus a monster truck, yeah! So
Nice.
we asked if the monster truck's on the list, and it wasn't. But let's go. Kenny Chesney, Kenny from South Park, Moxley, the chubby guy over here with the popcorn in the 5th row, the ugly guy with the dumb glasses over here in the 3rd row, Moxley, Darby Allin, Rick Allen, Alan Jones, Moxley, Evil Uno, Angry Dose, Hateful 3, Moxley, Marty, then the Jurassic Express cut him off.
Nice.
At Marty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well teased.
Well teased. And when
Dinosaurs
the Jurassic Express got in the ring, he said, I want to let you know that dinosaurs and small children are also on the list.
Nice.
Which led to the Jungle Boy accepting the challenge because Chris Jericho said, you can't last 10 minutes with me. And Jungle Boy replied, I can last 10 minutes with you, and I'm going to kick your ass. So, on one hand, that was a really well done segment, and I do want to see that match because you might see Jungle Boy's breakout performance.
Right.
Luchasaurus is already,
Yeah.
heading towards superstardom. He's not there yet, but he will be there. Jungle Boy's kind of been, whatever. This might be what Jungle Boy needs, so I'm really, really excited about that for the 18th show. However, if you were to tell me, what do you want to see more? A triple threat match between Keith Lee, Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa, or Chris Jericho versus Jungle Boy? I may be a little more inclined to see the triple threat.
Right.
Am I saying that the triple threat is going to be better and it's a foregone conclusion? Absolutely not. Am I saying that Jungle Boy and Chris Jericho don't have the chance to do any and everything that they're capable of doing, make Jungle Boy a star, be a better match? No, I'm not saying that either. All I'm saying is, blindly, I'm a little more intrigued about NXT than AEW as we sit here today. So, I don't know. Had a lot of really good matches that night. Started off with a really good opener with Proud and Powerful and Sammy Guevara versus the Young Bucks and Dustin Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin busted out Canadian Destroyer. I joke with some friends that I wonder if that should be called a Canadian Dust Troyer.
Oh, nice.
That's right. Nyla Rose had a squash match. I don't know how to say this without turning a lot of people against me. Nyla Rose is really not that good. Like, she's very seriously green around the gills. And is very seriously not very good right now. Not saying that she doesn't have the potential.
Right.
That in a year or so, she might not be the cornerstone of the women's division. But right now, with the exception of the representation that she provides, which is really cool, I can't get behind her.
Fair enough.
They had her put Rick Knox through a table. They reenacted the Britt Baker scared part, which I thought was kind of lame. I mean, it was funny, but like in retrospect, it's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
This is all out of order, so I apologize. I'm literally going off of this from memory in the crowd. Cody had an awesome interview segment where he kind of was not taking the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny seriously, kind of name dropped them, but his focus is still MJF. MJF has refused to wrestle him. Cody threw the keys of his truck down, his watch, his Louis Vuitton shoes, and a briefcase full of $50,000 and with $100 that he gave to a kid in the front row in the middle of the ring, saying he will give all of this to MJF to wrestle him. I have not yet seen the viral MJF interview in response to Cody, but was a nice mixture of his dad and Ric Flair.
Gotcha.
It had like the blue collar vibes along with the wealthy vibes, which was really, really cool, and I dug it.
Cool.
There was another Dark Order vignette of some, kind of the initiation process. They asked this teacher, why do you want in? He's like, because I want revenge. They let him in. They let the guy, that's actually a guy that I know from local wrestling shows, named Louis Benson. Shout out Louis, proud of you for getting on AEW. He said he wanted in the Dark Order for friends, and then they kind of mold him. So, again, kind of retroactively making the Dark Order better,
right?
Which is something they desperately needed.
Yeah.
Later on, there was a Butcher Blade and the Bunny interview.
How'd that go?
It was like a vignette where they basically said they're tired of seeing Cody Rhodes, tired of seeing him everywhere. They want to cut the head off the snake.
They're angry internet fans.
Pretty much.
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
I mean, we're in that community, yes. And again, it was better. It's kind of made me think, okay, it's not quite as bad as it was. I'm just like, what the fuck is this from last week? I feel like if there's not some, maybe it's just because of my own head and my own fan fiction scenario that I've set up for myself. I feel like if Marty Scurll isn't involved in that in some way, because you go back to being the Elite, the first person to say Marty's dead and abandon him was just Cody saying, like, Marty's dead. We got MJF now. Marty's dead. So,
yeah.
I feel like with that little subtle hint, it could be. But I feel like anything else is me being set up for failure. It's
Right.
like,
Did Allie have an explanation? Or was
she was just kind of the mouthpiece.
She was just there.
So there you go. There was this really, really bad segment with Brandy Rhodes and Awesome Kong wanting to essentially start the Trash Society again. They shaved some woman's head. It was bad. It's very, very bad. Like, of all the good that's going on,
She is not her husband.
No. It just doesn't make any... Like, her being paired with Kong, like they say they're trying to do... It's just really bad. Like, they're this new cleansing of the women's... And they're wanting to take this... I can't... Her name escapes me at the moment. I apologize. She won the match. It was a good match.
Oh yeah.
Help me out a little
Statlander
bit.
or something. Just
Yeah, when you're not
getting there.
kind of harder when you're not like seeing the names right in front of you all the
Right.
time.
Chris Statlander.
That's it. Yes, because she was at the con.
Mm.
In part of the cosplay wrestling, and during the Q&A, she
Hmm.
sang the duck song with a little kid in the ring.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Yeah, she beat Hikaru Shida.
You know, and they said they offered Statlander a spot, and she was kind of refusing it, and there's this like woman in the crowd like, I'll join, and then they shave her head.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. Like, everybody's kind of going like, so are you Serena Deeb?
Right.
And it's just not good. And the women's division needs the most work in AEW. Not that they don't have good talent. It's just the best talent, with the exception of maybe Rio, is signed elsewhere.
She's like kind of just gone at the moment. While they're
Yeah,
trying to
she was
focus
not
on everybody
there.
else.
She was not there this week.
It's kind of weird. It's like they're trying to build the rest of the division because Rio's just sitting there like, who's got it? You know?
Yeah. Going off of memory again, Trent and Phoenix had a great match. Pentagon and Daniels had an okay match. Daniels really fucked something up in that match. I mean, both of them being as good as they are, they rolled with it, worked on the match. It was great,
Right.
but still, it's kind of painfully obvious that Daniels fucked up. It happens. It happens to the best of us. The main event was Jon Moxley and Joey Janela. I was actually off getting a beer, and I saw like where Moxley was psyching himself up when the security was for him to enter through the crowd. So that was kind of neat. Good match. Right guy won. And Joey Janela, while I don't hate him, and he definitely didn't get, I don't know of any other way to put it, carried to a good match in this particular case. I still don't like Joey Janela.
Yeah.
So there you go. But show ends with Jericho taunting Moxley from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And AEW Dark, the main event of it with Kip Sabian and Kenny Omega was good. Yeah. So overall, great time. If AEW's in your area, go check it out. Good show. Even Dynamite. And then we go, like, we haven't even seen SmackDown yet, so it's kind of unfair for us to
enough.
really speak on it.
Yeah, I don't have much of an update.
Yeah,
besides what happened at the very
it's-
beginning with.
You know, it's, you know, I apologize if you want our SmackDown thoughts, but, you know, damn WWE for moving their show. The big thing is TLC is how close, and there still isn't a card announced. When is TLC?
Gonna find out for you.
Yeah. Like, I should be, you know, I mean, part of this is, I guess, a failure on my part as a YouTube wrestling content creator, but also on the flip side of
Holy
things.
moly! On the 15th.
So that's next week.
Holy moly!
That is next week.
Yeah.
Next week we are supposed to have predictions,
Yeah.
and there isn't a fucking card.
Yeah.
You know, the last
That
time.
is so WWE though.
Yeah. But you want to know who else that is? Vince Russo's WCW.
Mm. Hell in a Cell had 2 matches announced, like, until 3 days before the pay-per-view.
I guess I don't know
Three.
what
2 or 3.
I don't know whether to look at an instance like that as either the strength of the WWE name, the, you know, I don't know what the word is. I want to say genius of Vince McMahon, but the, I guess, comfort of Vince McMahon
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
well, everybody has the network. They're, people are rarely going to drop money other than what they're already paying me, so I don't need to announce a
Yeah.
card. Or the arrogance of Vince McMahon going, fuck these motherfuckers. They're going to watch anyway.
Yep.
They're going to give them what I fucking give them. I don't know what to
Series
think.
was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not saying Survivor Series is bad at all.
No, well, I mean, yeah. Oh, believe me, I always get irritated when they're not.
Are you waiting? Well, I mean, we really don't know what else to talk about because we're getting into, we've covered the week in wrestling except for SmackDown. But, appreciate you coming. If there's anything you want to add to the discussion, go right ahead. We can.
I have a casual friend who's started to watch just a little bit of AEW, and like at first he was very, I don't know about this, but now he's like, wow, this definitely seems better. And it's like we both agreed one of the big problems, is scripting versus bullet points. Go do what you know how to do. The ones who can get on the mic, because
the ones who can,
AEW
like
does
Cody
not
Rhodes,
have-
yes,
yeah.
Cody Rhodes, yes. There might be others.
Cody Mox usually
Yes.
is pretty good on the mic. Some not so much.
Kenny hit and miss. I feel like when Kenny kind of gets to go off the cuff, it's good, but not if you're trying to be a hero.
Fair enough. MJF obviously.
MJF's amazing.
Jericho. But if Jericho wasn't good on the mic, then something
Eric
wrong.
says WWE just sucks. They can't really get storyline. It's good. Well, I'm guessing.
Doing pay-per-view.
Well,
That's fair. That's pretty fair.
I'm guessing that Roman's
geez.
probably eventually just gonna. I'm guessing the end game for the Fiend is he's gonna lose to Roman
Probably.
at WrestleMania. Probably.
Probably. More than likely. Oh dang! Is that going to be what the Royal Rumble one's about, or is that going to be focused on Lesnar? Who the heck's going to face Lesnar? He's going to have.
I've heard the rumor and innuendo. Yeah, rumor and
Let's go with
innuendo.
rumor and innuendo. Let's do it. What's that?
Cain Velasquez.
Really? After that showing in Saudi Arabia? Really?
You gotta remember, WrestleMania is. I mean, I don't like it. I don't want to see it, but playing devil's advocate a little bit because. At least the guys in chat, we all know a guy who will play this devil's advocate will go, people like MMA, people know who Cain Velasquez is, people who don't like wrestling will want to see that. To mock it and go, wrestling's fucking stupid, and fuck you people all you dumb virgins that watch this stupid shit.
Especially since they could just get a free trial subscription to the network and then cancel it right after. I mean, why not?
Hell,
You don't even have to shell out $50 anymore.
Eric, the $9.99 well spent is me being able to watch NXT, me being able to watch TakeOver.
He's not wrong. Roman is going to fight Corbin.
Oh, yeah. I can't, literally, there is not a match that I can care less about other than maybe Jay White versus Toru Yano.
Who the heck is Becky facing?
I don't know.
The only storyline I'm really aware of on Raw is Charlotte versus the Kabuki Warriors, which I assume she's. Oh shit! It's gonna be Becky, isn't it? It's gonna be Becky and Charlotte versus the Kabuki Warriors. They're gonna win the tag belts, and then they're gonna feud over the women's title while holding the tag belts in that perfect storm that we love so much in the feuding tag team. It's true. There is a lot of good stuff on the network.
Yeah,
it's
TakeOver. It's old shit.
Yep.
It's
the Cruiserweight Classic. That's a fun tournament to watch, in my
the
opinion.
Mae Young Classic.
Yep.
It's not the current product. It's
Fans
me.
NXT. Possibly.
It's me when I want to go, you know what I want to watch right now and I don't have a DVD nearby? I want to watch the 92 Royal Rumble.
There you go.
You know what I want to watch right now? Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. You know what would be really cool to see right now? Fucking Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect.
You.
That's what makes it worth my $9.99 a month.
That's the advantage. All that chronicled stuff they got. All
Yes.
the good content they got. That they rely on so heavily since they can't put out good content now.
No, you're right. I guess Jay White versus Matt Taven would be a match I also don't give a fuck about. I did post, getting with the I'm going to tell my kids meme craze. I did post a picture of Matt Taven on my Twitter account and wrote, I'm going to tell my kids this was Jay White with Matt Taven. I also did one, and I didn't post this publicly, maybe I should. I also wrote, because this joke is way too inside, but there might be 3 other people that get it, and 2 people will laugh, and 1 person will come to my house and probably murder me in my sleep. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. I found
giving out your address.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
I found a picture of Roger from American Dad, and wrote,
yeah.
I'm going to tell my kids this was Jay White.
Damn.
I said, there's 3 other people.
It's kind of insulting to Roger, don't you think?
That wins. That wins the show.
What did never do to you? Dang.
Shut Ray. I be no pet. I beat the Rainmaker. I beat the Ace.
Oh, damn. Wow. Jay White could be one of Roger's alternate personas that he keeps inventing. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yes. So that truly is
Tell
Jay
me
White.
I'm wrong.
Truly is Jay White.
With the wig and the switchblade.
Yeah.
How much bubbly have you had?
How much bubbly have I had? I have
We're still
had.
waiting on it to come in, aren't we?
I do not have a little bit of the bubbly yet. I have had a beverage, but not enough to really be in with the bubbly.
It wasn't bubbly enough.
No, this is water. It's we just really like to insult Jay White, except for one person who likes Jay White, and if that individual sees this, well, if you don't see any more videos, that's why. Really nothing else to talk about. I mean, there is nothing else. We've hit AEW NXT is all there is to talk about now, especially since SmackDown. Well, we can't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're failing as wrestling YouTubers, but fuck, man.
I literally attempt right before I come over here to.
Fuck, man.
Get a quick cap on.
That ain't getting on Hulu until tomorrow, and
yeah.
Nobody's gonna want to watch a live wrestling show on YouTube on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
It be what it be.
It be what it be.
If it's something really earth-shaking, we'll mention it the week after.
Yeah.
I guess.
But so far, SmackDown hasn't given us fuck all.
Other than
except for Daniel Bryan getting his head ripped out.
Week, yeah.
And allegedly not even being on the show, but we don't know yet. Emphasize, we don't know. We don't know. Haven't seen the show yet.
I know in the opening segment they seemed like they were going a different direction with Miz. And what?
So yeah, we're gonna put a bow on this week's
What about
episode.
Rusev? I mean, he attacked Lashley, I guess. Like we're kind of trying not to give that story too much airtime because it's terrible.
Bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that Rusev and Lashley in a match would be bad. Just the storyline has been kind of awful.
Too many cucks, too many cucks, too many cucks.
I mean, do you have thoughts on Lashley?
Yeah.
Rusev? Feel free to share them.
The floor is yours because I, for one, do not. So yeah.
So I guess next week we'll do a quick recap and we'll be doing a prediction for a show that might actually have a card announced on the outside.
Or will it?
Maybe.
We may not do a prediction show
Right.
because there might not be a fucking card announced.
Yeah, if there's not at least 6 matches announced, I can't see us doing any contests because we won't be able to do any metrics on it. We wouldn't know anything.
Yeah, it was hard enough with the takeover.
That's why we skipped Survivor Series. We didn't know what the hell was happening because
Yeah.
Takeover was the only thing actually announced.
And I just don't want to do contests for WWE. I like to
that's fair.
other than NXT.
That's
my contests are for
AEW.
I
The Wednesday night crowd, the hardcore wrestling
and
fans.
New Japan. Yeah.
Ah.
You know. If it
Which
was,
is a whole another level of competition right there.
and even then, like I don't think I'm gonna do one for the 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. I think I'll do one for the New Japan Cup in March, like another
Fair enough.
bracketology
Yeah.
Type tournament. But be on the lookout for that. Just kind of. Yeah, I want to give stuff away for the stuff that gives us, you know, material, and the main
That's
roster has given us minimal material.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it makes sense, but like, am I? Other than just seeing the match for the match's sake, I'm not buying into the storyline. I don't care about Rusev being cuckolded and emasculated.
Yeah.
I don't care. I think it's stupid. It's a stupid idea from bad creative. And that's where we're going to end it for the week. Thank you all for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of professional wrestling, from the world of gaming, comic books, and all things geek culture. Go like my Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. Go follow me on Twitter at athletic_geek89. And go follow me on Instagram at athleticgeek89. Jedi doesn't have social media because he's got a wife and kids and ain't got time for that bullshit. But if you have any questions for him, just post it on this video or my social media pages.
Facebook,
And,
Snapchat.
you know, no, not Snapchat.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Instagram, yes. And we'll relay it, and he'll get back to you in some way, shape, or form. But for Jedi Jason Kruger, I am the Athletic Geek. We are just two marks, and we're out. Have a good one.